So a lot of people ask me, what's going to happen to your business, the whole clean energy industry for that matter, when this base of incentives goes away? When there's no more federal tax credits, no more renewable energy credits, no more accelerated depreciation, no DSGS, and so on and so on. What happens then? Because that day is coming, maybe tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now, but eventually it's going to be here. So does the party just stop? Everybody just going to pack up and go home? Solar, wind, hydrogen going to become relics of the past like pyramids in the Egyptian desert? We all going to be driving EVs powered by coal with the tech bros convincing us all to go nuclear? Well, the short answer to all this is it's complicated. If incentives vanished tomorrow, the clean energy industry wouldn't die. It would adapt, morph, become smaller, leaner, fewer giveaways at RE Plus each year, that's for sure. The companies left standing would go back to designing systems the way they did in the early 2000s, when the focus was on cutting peak usage and not declaring energy independence from the grid. And that peak shaving approach would likely carry the industry through the early 2030s, right about the time when the IRA was set to phase out anyway. By then, grid electricity inflation will almost certainly have outpaced on site power generation inflation by maybe 30% or more. And when that happens, guess what? Energy independence will make a comeback. And companies like ours would be right there ready to deliver it. Now, all of that sounds pretty straightforward, maybe even obvious. But here's where things get tricky. If the incentives go away, our ballooning energy demand doesn't, and neither does the capital chasing it. There will still be a massive need for new generation and mountains of money looking to fund it. So, where does that leave us? Investor capital is going to pour into natural gas, coal, nuclear, not because these are better, but because these are faster, more familiar, politically easier. And just like that, we're going to risk undoing decades of progress on climate. Even worse, at least in the short term, our grid is going to be pushed to the brink. With less distributed generation in the mix, we're going to be putting more strain on an aging infrastructure that's already stretched too thin. So if you really want to know what happens when clean energy incentives go away, you got to ask the real question. When? If it's tomorrow, excuse my language, but fuck. Yeah, some of us might be able to stick around in one form or another, but our industry as a whole, we reverse course on over $500 billion in private investment since the IRA, put 100 manufacturing facilities in jeopardy, and potentially turn the lights out on gigawatt after gigawatt of clean power plants that rely on production tax credits. Now, if incentives go away in 2030, as planned in the IRA, then things look a lot different. Clean energy keeps building momentum, it remains a core part of the energy mix, and investors remain confident betting on the US without the rug being pulled out from under them. Now, as for us, our mission will stay the same no matter what. We're here to bring the benefits of distributed generation to commercial property owners, and we'll use whatever we got at our disposal to make that happen, even if that's just the broth left in the bouillabaisse. Now, if you'd like to learn more about developing an energy hub on your property, please check us out at the link below.